But that's the responsibility of adults. We're all adults, you know. We have to take responsibility for our actions, and what we don't need is some sort of socialist like Keir Starmer trying to take control back from us, and I think that's what it is.
Changes have been proposed to driving laws in the UK, including a reduced threshold for breathalyzer tests and eyesight tests for people over 70 every 3 years. Here's what people in Manchester had to say about it.
I mean, so what does that equate to in terms of pints and what you can, because you can say millilitres, so is that, 1/3 of a pint, 2/3 of a pint, because you can't go in the pub and ask for 2/3 of a pint, can you?
When I was about 16, I saw a woman killed by a drunk driver. Just splattered all over the road. So when you see the reality of it, you think, why is there like a little grey area in the middle? I think you don't need to take your car out for a night out, do you? So I think it should be 0.
If it's law in Scotland anyway, it's like, I don't see what the issue would be. Anything that discourages people from drink driving anyway, it's like, I can't see what the issue would be.
I think my view is that, I don't know the science behind it, and I'm sure there may be some. My worry is kind of like, you should devolve responsibility for things like that down to the individual. That's the society that we live in, right? And it's a bit nanny state to sort of, bring it down too far, but...
have you ever had to deal with drunk drivers on the road yourself, or people that you thought put you in dangerous situations?
No, I haven't. So I think I suppose if you've been affected, then it's probably very welcome, right? But I haven't been affected. I don't drink drive. I've never drunk drive. I think one of the issues might be, which is quite interesting, it's like hangovers and people driving when they've got a hangover and not actually realising they're over the limit. I'd be interested to see what impact that has, because it might actually put quite a lot of workload on the police. You might have to process more people, you're nicking more people. I don't think we've got the capacity. The police are probably not welcome it. They probably hate it because they're going to be really, really busy as it is anyway. And it's such an arbitrary change, and it's just going to increase their work.
Well, anything that makes the road safer, sure, has got to be a good thing. If it's the only issue I would have is if it becomes unnecessary, but then I suppose you got the whole argument what is classified as unnecessary. But I'd have to read what the proposals were, and why they think it would sort of have a beneficial effect.
I think it's tweaking things that are not necessary. And like my friend saying, I think if you do make a change, it's all or nothing, right? And I don't believe in going down to nothing. So I think you should just leave it as it is. I don't think drunk driving's much of a problem in this country.
It's a good idea. I think it should happen because the road will be more safer.
And do you ever think you might see older people who don't drive too well?
No, they drive slow, but they're okay.
Obviously, if you have a drink or 1 or 2 drinks, it affects you basically on your physical size. So it may affect people more than others. So really, you shouldn't be drinking at all if you're driving.
So you think it should be the same for everyone, lower?
Lower, it should be low as possible, and I say it can affect people more than others. If you're a big bloke, 1 or 2 may not affect you. If you're a smaller bloke, 1 might affect you more than that. It all depends on how you can consume it and how it affects you.
Thank you very much.
A lot of people's tolerance really varies, isn't it? And it's not like having fun, go and have fun, but why do you have to drive home afterwards, get a taxi? All the public transport is actually getting a little bit better now than it used to be, so there are more night buses than there used to be, aren't there, So that grey area causes confusion, doesn't it, where people think, I can get away 1, maybe 2 pints, but 2 pints may affect some people hardly at all, but other people, it stops the judgment, doesn't it? The judgment of 1 second can actually kill somebody, can't it, in a very unnecessary way, isn't it,
Would you know what the limit is, or, would you think it's... Because we're asking people what it is, and some people say, well, it's 1 pint, and some people have gone, it's 2 pints. Then again, is it 2 pints of Guinness or strong lager, or...?
That's right, it's units, isn't it? I would never go over 2 limits. It's 2 units, right? I think that's how it is, right? 1 pint, 2 units. But again, it depends on it, right? So if you drink a wheat bitter, that's 3%. That's probably a unit. If you drink a really strong lager, like wife beater, which is not actually anymore, but then that's a unit. So, but that's the responsibility of adults. We're all adults, we have to take responsibility for our actions. And what we don't need is some sort of socialist like Keir Starmer trying to take control back from us. And I think that's what it is. We've got to be really careful not to creep back into, you know, I'm a bit of a Thatcherite myself. I'm sorry, I'm of that era, right? I'm also a biologist. I believe in things like natural selection and things like that, right? So I'm quite one way down that side of things, let me say.
The other law that was proposed to be changed is drivers over 70 getting their eyes tested every 3 years. Do you think that's a positive idea?
Definitely a positive idea. I should also go further than that and say that they should actually have a test as well. It's like grandfather rights. You know, people who've been driving for that long assume they can drive and they're competent, but they may not know the new laws or even be physically be able to drive or have reaction times. So they may not be able to stop in time or things like that.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, you want more people to have mobility, don't you? Of course, you know. But I think again, people should have more responsibility in a car. And a car's like a massive. I don't know what it weighs. It's about half a ton or something. You drive around at 50 miles an hour. You've got to be aware of what you're doing, haven't you? I think sometimes people think it's like sitting in a very comfortable little room, whizzing around town, detached from reality, innit? I mean, you see these days, you see some terrible driving in Manchester, don't you? Like people driving up and down the pavements. It's just madness, isn't it? So I think people have to take a little bit more responsibility in driving the car, you know, and be aware of the environment around them and other people as well. But we don't really live in a time of we live in a time of I, don't we? So people go, it's my right to be a little bit drunk and I can't really see what I'm doing and I've got to drive home, instead of thinking, what about the people in between as you go home and stuff like that, you know? I don't drive though, it's just easy for me to say, innit? You know, I just walk around town or cycle. I don't drink either, so I'm the worst person to ask.
Good idea, absolutely. Yeah, that's a very good idea because it's very, I think you get used to what your eyesight is and you don't know whether you've got bad eyesight or not. And as you get older, I think that's appropriate.
24% of fatal accidents involved drivers over 70 last year.
Right.
2024 at least.
Yeah. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because you don't want people to lose sort of like an independence of freedom. But by the same token, is that independence of freedom coming at a potential cost? It's like I'm 55 now, so I would hope to think that prior to like me losing sort of eyesight and stuff like that, it's like I would take some action, but I don't know. It's like as I say, I would have to look into that one and sort of listen to the arguments both for and against.
You know, even if you live out in the suburbs, get a bus. What's wrong getting a bus? People look down and getting a bus, don't they? You know, you don't need to drive about, do you?